The dead's still at the club. The dead's still at the club. The dead's still at the club. At the club. Oh yes, the dead's still at the club. The dead's still at the club. The dead's still at the club. At the club. Oh yes, the dead's still at the club. Still at the club. The dead's still at the club. The dead's still at the club. At the club. Oh yes, the dead's still at the club. Still at the club. The dead's still at the club. The dead's
Hey Goldie, what's on today's to-do list?
Why, it's match day, Dave. Are you hoping for a full house tonight?
Not too fast, as long as we sell all the tickets. I don't care if you come down here.
Make more money from the tourists here, so I don't care if you come down here.
Nathan Fellowicker's got a boy for the night. His ex-missus says you better try to get it right. He buys a kid a chicken and a burger and a Sprite. Got a train home, 200 if you like.
Cause I don't care if you come down here. Cause you make more money for the tourists here, so I don't give a monkeys if you come down here.
Stop from when the pocket took a volley in the water. Yeah, but I still remember, but it can't get sore. Climbs more stairs than he did before. What's his old seat, then he's got to pay more.
Cause I don't care if you come down here. Cause you make more money for the tourists here, so I don't give a monkeys if you come down here.
Because Kevin only goes to football with his wife. He did it as a kid and he's done it all his life, but he don't get a winter view allowance anymore. So he's gonna sell his ticket to a bloke for Singapore.
I don't care if you come down here. Cause you make more money for the tourists here, but we don't give a monkeys if you're here next year. I don't care if you come down here. Cause you make more money for the tourists here, and I don't care if you come.
3 foot high and a liar. You dragged our club through the mire. Please take your horse and fuck off out of the door. Sully your poison and we just won't take any more.
Hello and welcome to Dad's Ad Job Podcast, the original footballing podcast for dads by dads, live on Dad's Ad Job TV. I'm joined tonight by just Callum this week. Cal, how are we getting on?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, mate. I see where the budget goes.
Yeah, you can see where the budget goes. As it's very topical this week, especially with the performances of West Ham in the Premier League and in the Carabao Cup. And obviously with what's been going on in the summer, dilly-dallying, it's time for a change. So BS Out is going to be a constant plug throughout this stream tonight. But yeah, other than that, how's things with you?
Yeah, I'm happy, mate. There's not really much to say. I mean, to be honest, I think I could have probably had a night off tonight and just let you completely let loose and lose your rag tonight. To be honest with you,
I think I could have been the one with the night off. To be honest, the way I'm feeling at the minute. But no, I say it's always good to get online. If people want to come and join the chat, the link is in the description here, and yeah, so just click on the link. You'll join the green room. We'll let you come on, and if you want to vent stuff about David Sullivan, Karen Brady, Graham Potter, popcorn, whatever, just offload it. So this is an open forum, so come along. And
I would agree with you, but the amount of stuff I've seen about West Ham at the moment, God, blimey, mate, I don't know if I could deal with it.
Well, you being a Newham boy and seeing the club leave that area and go into another part that seems very commercialised is, I'd say, it's ripped the heart and soul out of the club, isn't it? So, well, yeah. Have you been back to Newham since the move?
Yeah,
since West Ham moved?
Yeah, you've got to remember for how long ever? 5 years. I was commuting there every day, wasn't I? So yeah. I mean, the thing is, Arsenal went through it I know everyone called Highbury Library and all that sort of stuff, so I don't want to get into that debate. But when Arsenal went to the Emirates, those people said it was even worse than Highbury, and then now look at it. do you know what I mean? It's almost like a fortress now. You know, you've got the song, you got the ultras behind the goal, and you know we have actually, even we have got atmosphere now. But it took us. I know we've been there 15 years. Oh, mate.
15 years?
I don't know. When did we go in there? Yeah, it's got to be.
I think it might be longer than that. I think West Ham are near 15. Yeah, it'll be 10 years next year.
What, for West Ham?
Yeah.
Cheese and is it really seriously that long? Cheese and bread.
Yeah, cheese and bread indeed.
I mean, it took Arsenal ages, but to be fair, it wasn't that so much. I think it was more the players and management and linking with the fans that actually brought in. You know, they listening to what the fans wanted with the song and.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I've said this to Rob loads of times. I personally think what happened with Emirates was all the old boys who had the old season tickets have given them up or moved on, or can't go to games anymore. And then it's my generation, or mine, Rob's generation of fans who are tired of hearing, there's no atmosphere, Highbury Library and all that, because that's what we were brought up on. I remember all the time, especially from West Ham fans, you got no atmosphere, you got none of this, you got none of that. And our generation's now have got the season tickets, so we're like, well, actually, we're going to make the most of it. And now look at us. So, personally, I think that's where the biggest change has come from at Arsenal is a younger generation, or my generation, have got now season tickets or getting tickets now to then create that, because we're tired of being called, Highbury Library and so on and so forth. So, I don't know if West Ham need that. Is it that? I mean, you know better than me. Is it an older generation of fans over there, and they just can't sort of move on from Upton Park, and you need a younger?
It's a bit of both. I mean, obviously you get your romantics and that. So we should have never left, and you get the old schools that just don't like change. I mean, I was always pro change. I was like, because I had a lot of memories at Upton Park, and. So I have season tickets with my granddad and my dad, and I've worked over there as well. So it holds a lot of memories. But for us to progress and be where we wanted to be, we had to get into a bigger stadium. But the way it's been managed and the transition, because interestingly, the person that transitioned Arsenal from Highbury to the Emirates was the same person that transitioned West Ham to London Stadium, and. It's not gone down particularly too well, because we don't own the stadium. The difference is you own yours, so you can customise it, you can do what you need to do. But with West Ham, it's like we're just living in someone else's house, effectively.
But you bring it up all the time, right? Does it really matter? I don't go into Emirates.
Financially, we're better off.
What?
Financially, we're better off because we're paying £2.5 million a year. We've got the running costs. We don't even pay for the goalposts.
Well, what I'm saying is that so you're actually in a better position
financially, but we're £100 million or so in debt again. So we're supposed to be out of there. It's supposed to be cash rich and low expenditure, but we've got debts again.
But how have you got debts? Where's the debts going on?
The debts are basically player sales and player purchases. So we'll be buying players and then
you ain't bought anyone.
Oh well, apparently we've spent I think it's the fourth time in a row we've spent £140 million. We've apparently got to sign 3 players over the next couple of days. That's Mateus Fernandes, deal agreed for £42 million. Mugasa from Monaco, about £17 million, and we're after Jurriën Timber's twin brother, Quinton Timber. So it'll be interesting to see what occurs from that. But we've had sales, we've had Kudus sold for £15 million profit.
Paquetá's going, isn't he?
There's rumours about it. There is rumours about it, and I think even like the senior sources at the club have actually come out and said anything could happen. Don't rule anything out. It's like, well, if he has to go, he has to go, mate. There's nothing we can do as fans. Like if you don't want to play for the club, he's the only person that's really put in a shift for West Ham over the past 3 games.
True. I'd agree with that.
So if someone's going to come in and say, here's 60 million quid, considering the fact this time last year he was going to get banned from football for life and we was going to lose 40 million quid.
Yeah.
I think in hindsight, he'd probably take it. Yeah, but I'd like to keep him. I think he probably deserves one season at West Ham, and then we'll look to give him a golden handshake and let him move on with a blessing. But I think, regardless, I think this will be his last season that he puts on a West Ham shirt.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to go because there's a few good comments or interesting comments in the chat.
About we'll bring them back up.
Before we well, I was going to mention that one, but I was going to say before we go into transfers, I was going to say about obviously the board and Potter and what's your thoughts on obviously what's going on. You know, you ain't won nothing. Your performance has been dreadful. Let's be honest. You laughed at me when I said relegation battle.
I still, you know what? Ask me the question. Do I think West Ham get relegated? Ask me,
Adam. On your current form and your current position at the moment, do you think West Ham could get relegated?
No, I still don't think we will, and that's the frightening thing, because even our ownership think that way. So. If they don't think we're going to get relegated, and even with the three midfielder signings that we're going to sign, it's raining. It's raining. It's raining. Sorry about that.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, there you go. Michael Fish, you're welcome. It's a hurricane coming, I think. But again, like when you buy Matheus Fernandes, you put him in our squad. You think, yeah, that's good. You put Quentin Timber in, you think, yeah, that's good. That's the legs we need. That's the engine. And then you got a promising midfielder in Lugasa. I think again that looks good. Get a striker in. I think we'll be normal. But the players are always the very, very last option, or the first thing you have to fix. But probably. Like lower down the tree, if I'm trying to portray this correctly. So my feeling with the club is that the issue's at the top, and then you filter it down. So the players are probably the last of the food chain in terms of where the issues are. How you get the best out of the players is by the person that's above them, and that's the coach. And Graham Potter, I think, is not getting the best out of a good team.
Do you?
Yeah.
So you don't think? I don't know. I think I disagree.
I don't think he is going to get the best.
I don't think he's.
I do as well. I think he's taken on a job that's probably he hasn't got the mental toughness to cope with it. And you can see
he looked like a broken man the other day, mate. He looked like a broken man. Yeah,
100%. And on Tuesday night with the cup game, he's doing his tactics. His hands are shaking, holding the ball. Like. Where's your composure? You're supposed to be the guy that's leading this team. People are looking to you for answers, and you're shaking and you look a bit dishevelled. It's a bit alarming for me.
Do you think he's lost the changing room?
I think he's lost himself. I think if you haven't got belief in yourself to do the job, then you've got no chance. And I think he's just in there because he's going to get paid.
He's under contract.
Yeah, and the break clause, because we had Sean Whetstone on the show last season, didn't we? And I was like, yeah, for me, I think he's a legacy player. And then he went, you do know he's got a break clause in his contract, right? And I'm like, really? And he went, yeah, 18 months. So after his first 18 months in charge of West Ham, he's got a break clause. So the club or him can leave with no compensation fee. So they could just literally get rid of him and go, yeah, okay, that's that. So I think, again, he's not going to be West Ham manager this time next year. So it's like, well, what's the point of keeping him?
How long do you give him?
Oh, he goes now, for me.
Who'd you get in?
Well, your mate is always hot topic at the minute, Daishi. He's always been linked, and I think that's probably every West Ham fan's worst nightmare. But I keep saying to people on other streams and on X and stuff, I went like, you know Sean Dyche, so why don't you tell the people that are watching what you think Sean Dyche could offer West Ham, but through your own experiences?
I'll tell you what, Sean Dyche would be a great man management, like one-to-one man management. He would get the best out of individuals. I think he's got very high expectations. He don't take no nonsense in the sense of like right down to how you present yourself and things like that. So he's meticulous in that sense, and he don't hold back. He don't care who you are. You know, if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing and what he would expect from a professional, then he'd fine you or bench or whatever. Like he don't hold punches. If you're with him, like I say, if you're with him and you're doing what he wants and what's best for the team, he'll fight for you tooth and nail. Like I say, I've never felt so calm under a manager and so relaxed and like, you know, like just do your job and he'll back you. Do you know what I mean? So I think in that sense, I think he'd actually be perfect. Or he's a good shout for West Ham. I think defensively he would. I think he'd sort you out. I think for Bowen, it would also suit him because I think they defensively shore up, but then he would give him the freedom to do what he has to do up front. If I'm being honest with you, but I don't think you'll get him. I think he'd be perfect for you because I think you're going to be in a relegation battle. And I think that he would.
I don't think he wants it. He wants it. Dyche.
No, I think he knows it's not. I don't want to say it's a sinking ship, but I think he knows that he won't get the backing from the board.
Do you think that's because of?
If you look at it, it's a perfect club for him. You know, like when he went to Everton, again, stuff going on behind the board, stuff going on in the board. The team was quite good. They had players, same as West Ham, individuals that, you know, if you could put a few players random, that they could go on and do really well. He goes in. The one thing that, you know, from what I'm aware of, that the board to back you and support you with anything with the team. Well, I don't think he'd get that at West Ham. And I think that's where the difference is. But again, you're going to suffer. His playing style, I don't think West Ham would like to see it. But then from talking to Dyche, I know that he would set up with what he's got. Do you know what I mean? Like he says, there's a famous quote where he goes, well, if I've got, say, West Ham, and I've only got these sort of players, I can only play a certain way. If I've got Man City, and I've got them sort of players, then obviously I can change my coaching style, which is fair enough. You can only, you know, you got to do what suits your players best. And I think that's one thing Potter isn't doing, to be fair. So I think he's not playing the right football to suit the players that you've got in and around your team. Whereas Sean Dyche might do that, but also make sure that you've got a firm back four.
Yeah.
And I think you know, everything about him, he's rugged. You know, I think the East End, you know, you're saying a lot of the fans wouldn't like it, but actually, if the sort of bloke that he is, he's right up the East End sort of way. He's right, you know, he's the same, you know, working class, hard working grafter. You know, get into a fight if you have to. The same as what West Ham fans are all about. So, you know, I mean, I can't see it, but.
So what's with you being coached by him at youth level at Watford? What sort of incidences do you think could be relevant to West Ham at the minute if he was appointed? I'm not saying he is going to be. News flash, that ain't happening. No. But from your experiences,
he's enjoying his holidays.
that and going on Tippy Tappy football podcast as well.
Yeah, I mean.
Now, what happened when you at your youth level that you thought, you know what, he's perfect for me?
Well, he's meticulous and like I said to you, he just seems to like the little chats that he has. like he always had the time. Always had the time to have a chat, and he just took the pressure off. And I think at the moment there's a lot of pressure on West Ham, and I think if he came in, he would take the pressure off people, and I think that would allow other certain players to then flourish. Where at the moment, I think they're worried about making a pass, they're worried about making a run because, basically you're getting cut to pieces, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's set pieces more than anything.
And I think he'd make it difficult for people to score against you. And at the moment, you seem to let one go in, and that's it. It's like the doors open. It's like your head goes down, and I don't think he'd allow that to happen.
Mm.
Do you know what else I was thinking for West Ham? Because he might be out of a job soon. I was going to ask you about him. And I don't think obviously it won't go, straight away. But the Rangers manager,
Russell Martin, no, not for me.
No?
Not for me. No. I like what he's done. I like what he done at Swansea. I like what he done at Southampton to get him up. But I think I'm not being pompous or being big-headed here, but I just think we're just a too big a club for him. I know he's at Rangers, but when you look at the level of the league that they're in, it's a two-horse race, isn't it? Maybe three now because of Hearts being acquired by Brighton chairman Tony Bloom. Like I say, but I think Rangers, like I say, you expect to be top of the league or second, and if you're failing to do that in that league, then you're going to get scrutinised, aren't you? And they lost 6. I think they lost 6-1 yesterday in Champions League. Yeah. So for me, no. I put an X post out previously, highlighting the available managers that are out there. You've got Edin Terzic, who was a former West Ham assistant under Slaven Bilic, went over to Dortmund and worked absolute wonders there. But for me, I think that he is probably more focused on European football in terms of getting the best in knockout competition sort of football. So I think that's probably a no for me. Romantically, yeah, because he's got a history with the club, but I don't think he's probably the right person for it. Ange Postecoglou is another one that's been mentioned, but again, I think he needs a summer to put his own players in. And if he comes into West Ham, he's not a firefighter. He's not going to get us out of a stuck. And you think defensively, is he going to improve us? Probably not. No. So,
and have you got the players to score one more goal than the other team?
Yeah, and we got neither. So I don't think he's the best manager for that. Sergio Conceição, who was linked previously, he went to, I believe, AC Milan. Had a good few months there. Won the cup. But again, it's a European style of football that we're just not suited to. I just can't see it. Can't see it happening.
Who do you get in?
Yeah, so there's 2 more names. One guy who was actually mentioned on Claret and Boo's stream, YouTube channel, and this was by SportsX. He has links with this person, and that's Xavi. So Xavi's out of work at the minute, and he's the type of person that would want to take on a challenge. But I think he again needs a transfer window to get his best players in and stuff like that. So I can't see that happening. The last suggestion on our X post was Thiago Motta, and Thiago Motta to me is probably the best suited person out of the 5. Because he comes in with existing squads and implements his style of play. He's famous for creating the 2-7-2 formation, which is, instead of it reading horizontally, it's read vertically. So you've got your 2 wingers on either side, and then you condense the play in the middle of the park by involving your goalkeeper, your ball-playing goalkeeper, as your additional man, like ball-playing man. So I think that could work. And what he done at Bologna with Joshua Zirkzee is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. So I think he could probably do that with us. Yeah, there's that. But with West Ham, if we do ever get anyone, we ain't paying for him, because the ownership that won't buy someone out of the contract. They never have. So And there's always that. It's like when you go and get a builder for a quote, isn't it? Like, or get a plumber. Like, oh, I really need a plumber. I really need someone to come and do this job and do a good job. And they're like, well, I'm not available until like 3 months' time because I'm so busy. And it's like, well, that's a good thing. If you've got a plumber next day and they do a shit job, there's a reason why they're available next day, right? So it's the same sort of process with managers. Like, if you want a good manager, you get one that's in work. And if I had to have a controversial punt, and that's Frank Lampard. It will not go down well with the fan base, but I think he's proven. I think he's got enough experience behind him. What he done at Chelsea, considering the transfer embargo that he had, to promote those youth players, integrate the existing staff, and to get them from, I think they finished something like 13th or something in the league, to finish top 4 and not be able to spend a penny is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Even when he went to Everton, and I know he was in a relegation fight all the time, but that Everton squad was shocking. That was shocking. He had to rely on the likes of Dele Alli to get him out of jail, and he kept him up. And I think that is some achievement, keeping Everton up in the state that they were.
Yeah, I agree. But you won't get him. He's flying at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's at Coventry City, so he's it's achievable. You could buy him out of his contract, and I think that I'm gonna let's say, because of the way he left as a player and the way he got into the club in the first place for a gateway for his old man and Uncle Harry.
Yeah, he deserves it, mate. He proved that he deserved that. Jesus.
There's that famous interview, isn't there?
Yeah, I've seen it.
The guy fans basically saying he's going to take the world right, and he was proven right, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But what sort of it would, to me, it would just be such a good redemption story to come back and try and win back the fans. Try and win back the fans. I know he's, and also. When you look at the players now, when they look in the changing room and look at Potter, they're not inspired, are they? Like, you look at Potter, you go, "Come in, what you got to offer me?"
But why is that? What's happened? Why is it like?
I don't know, mate. I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know the ins and outs, but I just don't think he's an inspiring person. What happened when
was it at Brighton when he went home by himself or whatever?
I don't know, was it Brighton or Chelsea? It might have been Chelsea. I know he had a few personal issues at Chelsea where his old man passed away and stuff like that, and he was trying to manage 44 players. But that the Chelsea job is a unique circumstance. But I think with Lampard, I think he could do well, and I think players will look up to him because the players of the age now, they would have watched Frank Lampard when they were younger. So there would have been like, oh, I'm listening to someone that's been there and done that. And also, you look at the managers that have coached Lampard when he was a player. You had Mourinho, Hiddink, Scolari, Sven-Göran Eriksson, Fabio Capello, great managers. And he could always refer back to them and go, what did they do in this instance? And it's a learning mechanism, isn't it? So like, you're a good student by who you're taught by, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
So for me, it just makes sense, but it's a massive obstacle for West Ham fans to accept Frank Lampard coming back. Because
why though? Why? I mean, other than
I just think it's just a hatred. Yeah, it's just a hatred of him as a player, and it's just carried on. Like they still sing 10 men couldn't carry fat Frank Lampard. It's a shame, but I think he could do well, but. I can't see it happening, but I think that would be my pick, Frank Lampard, right now.
And how much would you pay for him?
It depends what his contract is. I don't know what his terms and conditions are at Coventry City, but you think he's had 38 games at Coventry City and he's got 1.74 points per game ratio. That's his best ever as a manager, even at Chelsea. Virgil, how we doing, mate? All right?
Unfortunately, I can't see it happening. But I mean, Okay.
Yeah, I can't see it happening. But if you had to suggest to me options, I think Frank Lampard would be in my running. I would have gone for Will Steele before he went to Southampton. Mourinho if he was available. It's like Abel Ferreira at Palmeiras. There's loads of great managers out there, but we ended up with Potter, and he just looks.
You wanted Potter.
No, Karen Brady wanted Potter because they're mates. I didn't want Lopetegui after Moyes. I wanted someone else. But then when Potter was thrown in the equation, it was like it's not even a forwards move. It was almost like a sideways move, even backwards. It's getting someone like that in. But he's had a pre-season. He's had it since January to get the best out of the existing squad. He signed 2 players that he wanted, and again, there's no improvement. But I don't know. I was like, maybe being a bit harsh on him at the moment, but let's see who he brings in over the next 3 days.
Thing is, the thing is, it's who are you going to get in now? It's late in the day, innit? And it's almost like you've got to wait for other people to do business to see what you can get in the door. And let's be honest, I know you say you're buying these next 3 players, but I think you're going to have to do more loan deals. I think you're going to have to look at loans, and I don't think 3 players is enough.
Yeah, I don't think it's enough. There was a rumour as well doing the rounds at West Ham were after a loan deal for Victor Boniface from Leverkusen because he's moved to Milan, fell through. I think it was a failed fitness test or something like that. So just typical West Ham's going to sign someone that's injured.
Yeah,
it's the West Ham way. There's a good comment here that Gabriel Ince just joined Arsenal. I think he'd be a brilliant coach with great English, better than most in the UK. Yeah, Gabriel Ince, it wouldn't surprise me if he ended up at Man United eventually.
Well, he was at was he at Man United, didn't we?
No, Newell's Old Boys you got him from. Because it was, but people are forgetting, like, how could he cross the line from Man United to Arsenal? But you have to remember, Gabriel Heinze and Mick Arteta were teammates at PSG, so that's why they got the job.
Yeah, but I'm not being funny. I don't really care if he wins us a trophy, or if he comes in. I mean, everything that I've heard about him is that he's meant to be exceptional. And what he's doing with players is meant to be unreal. So if he's doing us a job, I couldn't care less where he's going from. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, that, I know that you're saying about Frank and the fans will have it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't know if I'd have like Van Nistelrooy at Arsenal. Well, you ain't got a choice anyway. But I don't know if I'd like it. But if they're coming in, and win you a trophy, do you care?
Yeah.
Or they keep you up, or they move you up the table, or whatever it is, they get you top 6. Are you going to worry? I mean, you're not going to get him because I just can't see you getting him. But
what, Lampard? You mean?
No, Heinze.
No. He's too invested in Arsenal. I mean, he ain't gonna jump there and go and take a job where he could get the team relegated, couldn't he? He could go wonky, but
he could ruin
patience is a virtue, I think, with him. Like I say, but Potter's still in the job at the minute. Another person that was linked was Nuno Espirito Santo because it looked like he was going to be on his toes at Forest this weekend.
Yeah, but they
West Ham's going to keep him in the job.
They're mates again, aren't they?
Well, no, they're talking about. He's talking about getting rid of him.
Oh,
this week. They had an emergency board meeting. Yeah, of course they're mates. But I think the link there is that he wants Ange Postecoglou with the Greek connection. So
yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, I have actually heard that.
Yeah,
that he's lined up to go in and take over. Which actually, that's probably not a bad club for him. I could see him doing quite well for Nottingham Forest if he was to go.
They've got a good squad. Very good squad.
Yeah. And their chairman's willing to back him as well.
Well, yeah, he's going to back him through all the third-party ownerships of all the other clubs, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean,
Botafogo and Lyon.
just as we've touched on it, lots of West Ham fans have got stuff to say about the board. What's your take on it all? What's your take on all the stuff that's been going on social media? I know that you're not happy with them, but we might as well hear your side of it.
I don't think we've got long enough on this stream to do it, mate, if I'm completely honest. But I think we're just tired and not even angry anymore. I think we're just enough's enough. Enough's enough now. We need to start doing something and create a sort of movement to get these people out, because now there's a new government ruling for retrospective punishment for Fit and Proper Persons Act. So if there is enough of a petition, in terms of the petition that we're promoting down here, that's hit 13,500 subscribers, if it gets to a certain number, then it has to go to Houses of Parliament to be considered. And then once it gets considered, that means that the football governance bill has to look into it. So fan power could get the owners out one way or another. It'll be almost like the same sort of thing as Roman Abramovich. I'm not saying this is similar, but I'm saying in terms of given the context, Roman Abramovich, because of the war from Russia-Ukraine, he was forced out of Chelsea, so he had to put his club up for sale. So that's what could happen to David Sullivan if he doesn't pull his finger out and do the right things. I think he's too far gone down the line to save himself. So come October, that law gets instated, and then that means that change could happen. But yeah, I just think it's just taking us for mugs. Actually taking us for mugs.
But what has he done that's unfit? Because
he
won you a trophy 3 years ago.
Hold on, this is a match of debate. Let's do this video. Wait a minute. So, match of debate. Hold on, let me just write this down. We're going into this now, aren't we? BS out. Oh, sorry. This is gripping live stream. There we go. Match of debate. BS out. Now, what has he done? He has sold our home, Upton Park, to move into a stadium we don't own. Right. Yes, it is the deal of the century in terms of £2.5 million a year plus Bank of Interest rates every year. I think it's up to something like £4 million now a year. Bear in mind, we've been there almost 10 years. So it's gone up £1.5 million over 10 years. Is pretty much nothing in terms of footballing side. Yeah. There's always been that the ticket prices have been too high. There was the talk about the concessions being scrapped, and they were going to have a flat rate ticket scheme. The training facilities are not up to standard at Rush Green. There was talk about them looking to buy land in Basildon to do a new training development, but that's all gone quiet now. I think in terms of commercial revenue and marketing, I think we're very poor in terms of the output of it. The only commercial branding we've done is put London on our badge. That's it.
What's your thoughts on that? Because, mate, sorry, I don't want to upset you, but loads of people. There was a petition about getting London taken off now.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, we should have got Nigel Khan on this show, because obviously he's very clued up in terms of West Ham history. Yeah, this shirt represents 125 years of West Ham, and this is 2020. So this is from the inception of Thames Ironworks. This year is actually a 125-year anniversary as West Ham United Football Club, but there's no recognition of that, because what happened is that Thames Ironworks ran for 5 years, then they folded, and then a new football club come from the ashes of that folding, effectively. So West Ham was actually formed in 1900 rather than 1895, is what the club keep boasting about. So this shirt I'm wearing is a commercial flop. As lovely as the shirt is, it's incorrect. Its date's wrong. So, this year, if it was going off this date, the kit that we got this season should be 130 years, but they've not recognised that. So it should be 125, which they still haven't recognised. So it's just that sort of thing in terms of our club ownership don't know our true identity. And in terms of having London on the badge, when you look at before the London boroughs started to become wider, obviously there have been more boroughs, haven't they? You had London and then
added to, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So West Ham was originally an Essex club on the River Lee because it was on the border. So we are from East London only because of the urban sprawl of Greater London. It's the reason why West Ham is an East London club. We're actually an Essex club. So it's things like that in terms of history. Like there's just no acknowledgement to it. The only thing they acknowledge is the crossed hammers of the Thames Ironworks, and that is it. And it's just frustrating, just the whole sort of heritage side to it, like the commercial deals, like in kits. You've got Aston Villa and Newcastle getting 25, 40 million pound kit deals, but West Ham managed to scrape something like 10, 12 million pound. It's like, well, why? We've won something in Europe more recent than what they have. Why haven't we got a bigger kit deal and sponsorships and stuff like that? So, stadium naming rights, another reason, another commercial income that they should be looking at, but they can't agree on it because of the deal that they've struck up with the OLDC, now Greater London Authority. So there's loads of elements there in terms of that they're not doing the right things, but also on the pitch, relating to things on the pitch, is that they just continuously make the bad decisions. They constantly get the wrong manager in. They constantly sign the wrong players. I think they're on something like their 60th striker in their reign. They've signed like 60 strikers, and none of them have hit over 20 goals a season. And even if they have, it's because they were bought as a right back or right winger that's converted into a striker through the manager that was there at the time. But there's lots of elements there, mate. There's so many things that are wrong with the club at the minute, and I'm just on the edge of it in terms of I know what I get told, but I think there's people out there on Claret and Booze, West Ham Way, Hammers Chat, West Ham Network that know a far greater deal of the ingoings of the club that are just not aired.
So I know obviously it's hard to say. What sort of owner do you want to come in? Do you want someone who like a Saudi billionaire?
No, I don't think it's even that, Cal. It's the fact that we just want someone that just comes out with a bit of ambition. Even if they come out and just appoint the right manager for starters, and in the end say, right, we've got a good manager here, we don't need to invest big on players because he's going to get the best out of them. And what we tend to do is we get a cheap manager in, buy the players, and then he can't get the best out of the players. And it's like he's expecting the player to do more than what he's been coached to do. So, it's
you've got to remember how many West Ham fans there in the world, all of you are going to want a different manager. So to get the right manager, there's always, do you know what I mean? Like, who is the right manager? And then you're talking about, like, I mean, I hate to say it, but Arsenal were the perfect example where you think of Mikel Arteta. When we got him in, everyone's like, what are you doing? But ultimately, I know, okay, we ain't won nothing. But he's for me, even if we don't win something this year, I'd still say he's the right bloke. Do you know what I mean? And I know 90. Well, I don't think it's probably that high because it's just a small minority of fans who get a big platform would go, he's got to go. But ultimately, again, you talk about a proper project from where Arsenal was 5 years ago to where we are today. It's not the same club, nowhere near. It's not like, I mean, it's like, black and white. It's completely different, club. But that's the sort of thing West Ham would need to do, isn't it? where you're saying, yeah, you'd have to go, right, we're going to back this bloke and we're going to go through this hard, because them first few seasons it was touch and go. I mean, he needed, everyone was calling for him to get the sack after 6 months, and that's what I'd say his first proper season.
I'll tell you what West Ham did. I'll tell you what they did do right, and that was appoint Slaven Bilic, because again it was the same sort of appointment as Arsenal getting Arteta, because that person had an affinity and a connection with that club. He knew exactly what it meant for the fans, because he represented those fans on the pitch in his playing career. What our board failed to do was to continue to back him, to develop him even more. I mean, we were on the cusp of Champions League football in his first season, but with a few extra signings, and that season after was just painful. And I felt for Bilic, I really did, because he wanted to get Lacazette in. He wanted to get Carlos Bacca in. We ended up with Simone Zaza on loan, who was the worst player I've ever seen play for West Ham. Up front, honestly, and I was turned off him when he was in the Euros for Italy and he missed that penalty. And then he ended up playing against West Ham in a friendly, and then it was like, we'll buy him. Terrible. And that's the thing. I think you've got to back your manager. You've got to back your manager. Like, even now, there is that argument they should be backing Graham Potter in terms of, right, Graham Potter's got a list of players here. You need to get every single one of them that he wants. He doesn't want third option. He doesn't want fourth option. He wants the number one option in every position of what he wants to get the best out of the team. But that comes at a cost, doesn't it? Because if it doesn't work, there's no guarantee that he's going to work. And if it doesn't work and he gets sacked, you're left with an entire squad full of his players. So you're stuck in no man's land. So, but I think with Bilic, I think the fans took to him, and it is a massive shame that he wasn't given the opportunity to have that second season backing that he was owed, because he did do really well for West Ham in that season.
What? Okay. Okay, so you talk about knowing someone who's been in the club, or having someone who's been in the club. What about Noble?
I just don't think he's manager material, if I'm honest.
Has he done any management? He's in the youth team.
No, I think he's coached like the under-14s at some point. I think there's been videos of him with Anton Ferdinand and Bobby Zamora coaching youth football and telling them what it means. I mean, he would be able to install the passion and the drive and say, look, you need to lace up your boots and you need to pull your finger out, because I'm not picking you. And you go, yeah, that's great. That's fantastic. Like, that's exactly what I want from a person, but he's tactically inept. And at that level,
you need that man. And sometimes you have that. Remember, you have a manager and then you have a coach. Do you mean? Like, from what I've heard, Alex Ferguson was the manager, but then he had his coaching staff around him who coached. Like, he wouldn't even go on the train. Apparently, he wouldn't even go on the training ground. Alex Ferguson, and he'd have people come in the door and tell him who's doing what and who's doing. But then he would pick the team. Is that
what's wrong then in modern day football? Do you think that we're trying to appoint someone that can do everything?
Oh, we've had this debate. It's another debate. This is Jesus. This is.
Hold on. let me just edit this. Match of debate. Old school managers in modern day football. Update, and let's just do that video again. Go on in. Old school manager in modern day football. Explain why Alex Ferguson couldn't be a coach and a manager in today's game.
Well, I've got to explain why.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying that. No. The thing is, it's what works, isn't it? You know, if you've got a bloke, I mean, Alex Ferguson obviously had enough charisma and enough about him to be able to one-man management. This is what I don't think you understand. When you get to that level, how much knowing that your manager's backing you and got your back and takes pressure off you and has them conversation and helps you with your game, how much that can change. I mean, the thing is, you should know because, you do know because you've seen it. Where look at Dele Alli, a player who, if he feels loved, performs. If he feels like he's backed, he's performed. He performs. Or there's hundreds of players that work under a manager, and that's why they follow them all the way around their career. They always seem to be bought by the same manager, or they end up working with the same manager, or they have a one good season and they fall off because they're not with that bloke. Obviously you've got to have some sort of knowledge of football, and not like complete, novices. But the thing is, I've had both. Right, I've had managers who are completely tactical and talk to you about football, and I haven't got on with them, or I just think you don't. I think you've got to buy into. But then I've also had managers who just match my style. Do you know what I mean? Like when I was at Bournemouth, I think we had George Ball, who I think that was his name. Was it George Ball? I can't remember. I have to ask my dad what his actual name was. I'm sure that's it. And he was known for being tough, would scream and shout, fight with players in the change room. Yeah. But then he had his side man who did all the coaching side of stuff. But if you were rubbish, but if you was having a bad game, he'd tell you. He'd tell you straight. Right? But then it'd be done. So if you if you made a mistake, he'd be tell you off, give you an ear bashing, and it'd be forgotten with, and then it'd be right, to get you back in and move on. And I like that. I like it where it's happened, it's done, we move on, and do you know what I mean? And then it back you. And I loved him. I absolutely loved it. And everyone was I remember when he was coming in, and it was the year we got relegated at Bournemouth. And I remember him coming in. I was only a kid, remember? So, and to be fair, I played quite a few games towards the end of the season because of that, actually. And I just remember thinking this bloke's my. But I remember, obviously, I was still a kid, really, and I just loved the fact that he backed you. I wanted to play for him. But then he does, like I say, the technical side of stuff. He had someone else doing that, but then he would, come in and give you bits, and you're all right, boy, I've got your back, don't matter what, And I just remember going, almost like a father figure. It was like, I liked it. I really liked him, and unfortunately, he didn't get a big enough run at Bournemouth because I think he had a death in the family, and he had to pull out, and then we ended up getting another coach towards the end, but. He always stands out to me. I'm sure that's his name. But I'll say it has been 20 years since I've even thought of him, actually. But yeah, I personally, you're buying into the person, isn't it? And this is, I think, this is where a lot of fans don't necessarily see that, because they go, he's coached here and he's coached that, and he's got a pro license, and he's got this. But just because you've got all that doesn't mean you can hold a change room. It's like being in the classroom. You've had it, Adam, probably, when you sat in a classroom back in the day and you go, I just love that teacher, and I just work for that teacher because he's got something about him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I married her. No, joking.
No, but you know what I mean? Like it is. It makes such a big difference. It makes such a big difference. And obviously, Alex Ferguson was the best at it. You don't go on and win what he's won without. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And no one would step out of line. Everyone backed him. And if you stepped out of line, you were gone. Even his protege, David Beckham, he stepped out of line. You're not bigger than me, mate. You're not bigger than this club. See you later.
Yeah.
But I think that's again.
And he was gone.
Is that another thing that West Ham's lost, though? Like you talk about their identity. Mate. I mean, but Man United have lost it. Let's be honest. Since Ferguson's left, and Arsenal lost it for a period of time, and Wenger left, where there's Ferg. I don't like it. I don't necessarily agree with everything he said. Sorry, but Rio Ferdinand, he talks about that sort of standard and structure and expectation, and it wasn't necessarily, Ferguson ran it, but it was actually the other pros and the people that have been around the club long enough would go, no, you're stepping out of line, mate. I'm not having that. That doesn't happen here. Who at West Ham are going? Like, I'm really sorry, but I can't see Bowen going, like, mate, that's not how we do it here. I'm sorry, like, I can't see it. Like, when Rice was there, I could see it, because I can imagine Rice going, what are you doing, mate? Like, don't do that, mate. Like, that's not right. Do you know what I mean? Like, but who you got at West Ham that's doing that? Souček?
I think Bowen does offload a little bit, but there's always that debate. I mean, it happened on Tuesday that he threw his captain's armband on the floor after an altercation with a fan. And now there's raising questions whether he's captain material because he's reacted quite negatively to it. But again, it's installed in passion. Like, offload that to your players, not to your fans. But the fans should be. I don't know. I weren't there, but obviously something was said that riled him. So it's obviously something there that something might have been said quite personal. I don't know, but he's frustrated. You can tell he's frustrated, but you're a captain. You got to lead by example. So you need to kind of put it on your teammates, really. But I don't know. I think he could come across quite meek, Bowen, but he's a fantastic player, and his performances on the pitch are not showing leadership qualities.
No, but this is what I'm saying. Again, and it's the same as what we just said about management. You could be a fan, like Tony Adams, fantastic player, fantastic leader, but couldn't do it at management. Do you know? Because I remember when he retired, I remember sitting in Rob going, he'll be manager one day. He's got to be a manager one day. But he just he doesn't seem to be able to put that across. And just because you're a fantastic player doesn't make you captain material. So we've got the same debate at Arsenal. Odegaard, should he be captain or should it be Rice now? But then Arteta come out and said they voted for it and they want him. That's it. Everyone's any unanimous vote that Odegaard gets it. So I mean, he's obviously doing something that we don't see, or the players value whatever he's doing that we don't necessarily see, or some of us don't see. I mean, but is Bowen doing that?
There you go. I was at the front of the game and heard nothing bad from the crowd. So how Bowen heard what the fan was saying, I'm not sure. There you go. I don't know. I wasn't there, so I can't really comment on it. But we could just see what was there on Sky Sports and through other people saying stuff, and
I just think it is a travesty from you winning the European Cup to then, instead of it leveling you up, it's almost been a hindrance to you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The same, and do you know what it's going to be the same? And I know, or potentially the same. It's like Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace won the FA Cup.
Is this you?
What?
Is this Nigel Khan? If it is, come on, mate, please. The links at the top. I'll show it here. There's the link. If that's you, Nigel, come on, please.
It's a bit like Crystal Palace. I think it could go the same way with Crystal Palace. The biggest problem for them, they're going to win the FA Cup, and then they're going to get all the players taken off them. Arsenal's got Eze already. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. How long ago did you win the Europa League?
Sorry, Adam, what's this? Oh, I don't. There you go. Yeah. Well, 3 years ago.
There you go. I've called it, mate. I've called you. I've called it. You're going to get.
No, you said you were going to beat Chelsea last week, and that went to shit, didn't it?
Yeah, but I also said that you're going to get relegated. I said it'd be a West Ham thing to do. But Crystal. Sorry, going back to my point, Crystal Palace. Their biggest hindrance could be winning the FA Cup, and now they're going to get all their players taken off. Let's be honest, Gay's going to go next season. We got Eze.
He's going to go this season, apparently, isn't he?
Oh, you reckon?
Well, Liverpool after him, aren't they?
Yeah, 40 mil, but is it actually going to happen? We'll wait and see. they want to get someone in the door first, don't they? But let's talk transfers in a minute. But like he's going to go. What's their striker called?
Mateta.
Yeah, he's going to go next year. And then are they going to be the same? Because you lost Rice. Who else did you lose in your? Was it just him who went?
Ben Rama, we lost.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
we lost. Cresswell, we lost. Antonio, Fabianski, Lanzini.
But all these players that you've lost.
Zuma.
I think Crystal Palace could be in the same predicament if they. I mean,
the difference is, Cal, they've got a good manager.
Yeah,
they've got a very good manager, and
he's actually, I must admit, I'm quite impressed with him.
And he was the guy that was Frankfurt manager that beat us in Europa League, and he ended up winning it as well. So, and I would have had him as West Ham manager, 100%, because I think he was available at the time. I think he was a free agent.
I think he's decent. He is decent.
He's good, mate. He'll manage it. I could see him like managing if Amorim gets sacked or something. I could see him going Man United.
Yeah,
because he plays the same style. He plays the same formation. He plays the 3-4-3, 3-4-2-1 formation, and that's what West Ham are trying to play at the minute. And Glasner done that at Frankfurt, and he done it ever so well. He done it so well. It's,
I could see that. I could actually see that. Do you think Amorim's in trouble yet?
Yeah, I think he's in trouble. I don't think he's in trouble. Maybe that's what West Ham are hoping for. He gets sacked, and then they can get him on a free because then he qualifies. Because we was after him last summer, weren't we? But we didn't want to pay the transfer release clause.
Block this bloke again. What is this guy doing? Why is he coming?
Bomber clubs. I don't know, but he's helping us, mate. he's viewing. He's getting an algorithm up. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see. I think what's his name? The Man United manager will go abroad. He won't stay in his country. Once he leaves Man United, I can see him going.
Yeah,
I can't see him. He won't go West Ham.
I think the Man United job was one too much. I think we was the perfect team for him, really, to bed in to then go to Man United. I think we could have done with that. But yeah, I don't know. Like Cal, I've got a conspiracy theory. I think in 2026, summer 2026, that's when it's all going to change. I think there's lots of managers out there that we could get that are going to be free agents. I think, like Russ Budden from West Ham Network, he's in the same mindset as me. Something's kind of teeing itself up for next summer. But we've got to stay in the Premier League. You've got to focus on today and tomorrow rather than next year.
So how many points do you think you need to get to stay up?
35.
How many you got?
It's not got 0. It's only game week 3 this week. You've got 36 games to play, Cal.
Yeah.
It's a point a game still. And that's Graham Potter's ratio, isn't it? Point per game.
True.
So if he gets a point per game, that's 38 points. He stays up, isn't it?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Based over the season. So, yeah, he needs to win his next one to be a point per game.
All right, fair enough. All right, let's talk about transfers.
Yeah, talk about transfers. Let me just go blow my nose for a minute. I'm sounding like Gonzo in a minute.
He's gone to the shop to blow his nose. Oh, hello.
That's better. I could breathe. Oh, God. Yeah, go on, Ed. Talk about transfers. What you heard?
Well, obviously Arsenal potentially getting that. Is it Hans Cap or what was his name? Hans Cap.
What? Hans Cap.
What's his name?
Who?
We're getting that defender in.
What? I don't know. You're the pat, mate. Who's Hans Cap?
We're getting that. I don't know, from wherever he's from. 52 mil in it, or what? Yeah, 52 mil.
52 mil, and you don't know his name.
No. Well, rumours is that he's coming in because we're getting rid of Courier.
Hold on, let me try to find it. Havertz set for knee surgery. Have you seen that?
Yeah, he went in today. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. And they're talking about they might go back in for a second striker now that he's gone in for his knee up. I can't see it.
Yeah, Crystal Palace are in talks for Arsenal for the permanent signing of Reece Nelson.
Yeah, 15 mil.
Porto after Kirill.
Yeah.
Hinsepe.
That's it. There you go. Hinsepe. I said that.
Huh? He's a hands cap.
Yes, folks. That's the dyslexic way of saying it.
The hands cap.
Yeah, that's the dyslexic way of saying it.
Hinsepe. Yeah, he's a good player, to be fair. One of Bayer Leverkusen's shrewd signings have played and partly Bundesliga invincibles, isn't he? So, yeah.
So, yeah, 52 mil. Oh, excuse me. That's meant to be a done deal. So, I think once Curio's gone, we're going to announce him.
Okay.
But, yeah. Rob's still adamant that he reckons we're going to get another striker in or another forward player in.
Isak.
Mate.
Imagine if you got Isak.
We'd end up, mate, with the amount of money we spent already, we'd end up bloody being relegated next year.
No, you won't. You got enough commercial revenue to back yourselves up. If you got Isak, you make money back on his shirt sales.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine if you put in a bid for Isak, but then Gabriel Jesus went the other way as part of the deal. And then you got Sweden's front two playing for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Havertz is out injured. You got Eze behind him, mate. Your squad's unbelievable. If you had Isak as well, take the piss.
We won't get
the
Isak.
Golfing Berta signing, Sinsepe, Eze, Zubermendi, Kikros is better than anything Arteta has bought before. Arteta or Edu? That's the question I want to ask. Is it?
No, you mean Berta or Edu?
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Yeah, Berta or Edu, because he said Berta or Arteta.
I mean, Edu did bring some players in. I mean, I don't know how Berta's gone and done what he's done, or persuaded the board to do what he's been able to do, because we've never done this. Now, the thing is, right, this is what winds me up, right, is that everyone's getting on Arsenal this year going, oh, look how many people they bought, look how much money they spent. But then if you look at the 20 years beforehand, we couldn't even buy a player. You know, we were getting Champions League with like Senderos at the back and people like that. Do you know what I mean? No one, you know, and everyone else was just spending loads of money. We didn't have the money to buy anyone because of the stadium. No one was saying anything then. Do you know what I mean? So, I just think it's our turn to spend a bit of dough and see what happens.
Yeah.
You know, it does. I mean, one sense, it's really exciting. Like, I'm not going to lie to you. It's probably the first transfer window where I've actually sat there every day for a period of time, looking and going, you know, what the hell's going on? Because in years gone by, it was almost like, well, we're not going to get anyone, and if we do, it'd be the last day anyway, because it'd be some like crazy buy, like an Ozil or, do you know what I mean, or Jesus or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, this has just been ridiculous. I don't think we will ever see another window like this for Arsenal. You know what I mean? So,
if he had to do it again, then there must have been something wrong in the previous window, right?
What's that?
Like, if you had to go out and spend another £200 million on players,
yeah,
you'd have to question, well, why did we spend £200 million last season?
I mean, the thing is, I think what Arteta's done is made sure that we've got cover in every single position, hasn't he? Where last year, a lot of the fan base were saying this is what undone us, because one, Saka got injured, there was no one to really come in. Once, you know, Gabriel got injured or Odegaard got, you know, whoever got injured, there was, you know, we didn't have a proper backup. Where now we've got a backup, you know, we've got someone in every position. Do you know what I mean? And quality. It's not just a backup. I mean, it's proper quality, isn't it? I mean, just like having Eze, it's almost like I want him to play. I really want him to play, but now I'm thinking like, where's he play and whose position he's taking? It's hard now. It's like
isn't it a nice luxury to have?
Yeah, it's almost too good luxury to have. Do you know what I mean? Because I want him to, because he comes across such a nice bloke and such a hard working footballer. It's almost like, well, I don't want him sitting on the bench.
Perfect fit for me. Is at Arsenal.
Oh God, yeah, it's a dream move, isn't it? Absolute dream. But yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. It's going to be an interesting year. It is going to be a really interesting year, and like I say, we've already got Odegaard should be back, but we've got obviously Saka out for 4 weeks. We've got Havertz out for. I can't see him coming back before Christmas. So the injuries are all, the injuries are already stacking up, and we've only played two games. Do you know what I mean? So
all those players will. Okay, should we go and jump onto fantasy football?
You can. Do you want to talk about it while I go and get a drink? Because I'm dying of thirst.
Yeah, go for it. We'll just go through the process of Chat GPT. So, go ahead and you shoot off.
I'll be back in a minute.
Right, so. It's that time of the week again where it's Chat GPT get banged. So let's see what we've done with a Chat GPT this week. So here we go. So let's have a look at the point system. So we got 40. Chat GPT got 45 points last week. Most outstanding player was Pedro Neto and Kudus. And even Bowen, even though he was captain, Lewis Potter and Jordan Pickford picking up 15 points. And I think it was a penalty save and a clean sheet that might have enabled him to do that. So to go on to the league where ChatGPT is currently standing, let's go into Dead Job League. So ChatGPT is currently 39th. I believe I have now leapfrogged. There you go. I've leapfrogged ChatGPT into 20th position. Shout out to Ben Fisher, party with a Tony Cotty. He's top 160 points. Eddie Rickman with Bar and Arrow, and FPL Dad Rookie Bean can't get any verts is your top three, and brother-in-law of Callum and Rob Horton, Lee Shinskin, he is fourth, and kit designer extraordinaire Bradley Edwards is fifth. So that's your top five. Right, so obviously we've asked ChatGPT a question in terms of what they want to do with their squad, and they made a glaring error by picking Garvadale as the centre-back who's been injured and not played, so they've gone for Destiny and Doggy. They've opted for 3 at the back, 4-3, and made Chris Wood the captain. So that is ChatGPT this week. So, yeah, very quick, very informative. That's like the leagues is wide open at the minute, as it always is early on in the season. Bottom of the league, I think Mark Hawes has finally got off the bottom with 76 points. So it's just there with a point. So that pretty much ends ChatGPT's feature this week. So that is that. That's really drums that song, doesn't it? We're going to talk about the up and coming Premier League Premier League fixtures when Callum gets back, and then we'll tie it up for the evening because my cold is starting to get a bit worse now. But yeah, what's your thoughts on what we've been discussing this evening? It'd be good to get some comments back. Kim Kallstrom signed 5 years too late, and as we stated, he is a Champman legend. Just to re-clarify there, if you want to sign the petition to get Brady and Sullivan out, please visit that website. The petition is over 13,000 hits. So yeah, and we'll welcome back Callum. Cal, FPL all done and dusted, mate.
Well done, mate. Do you not feel bad signing that petition to get them out?
No.
How long have they been in charge of your club?
It worked out that I think it's their 16th year, and I worked it out in my maths that 40% of my life as a West Ham fan, they've been in charge. We've been relegated.
How many times have you been relegated?
With them once.
Oh, is it only once with them?
Yeah. Might be twice this year. Might be. But but what we'll do is, Cal, we'll just finish up by our who Arsenal and West Ham are playing this weekend, and what your predictions are, and then we'll call it a night. Because I'm saying my cold is starting to get the better of me at the minute.
Okay, mate. Go on. You go first. Who's West Ham got?
West Ham have got Nottingham Forest in the El Sacchio. Game week 3 El Sacchio already. So whoever loses that game will likely get sacked, whether it's Graham Potter or Nuno Espirito Santo. So it'll be an interesting.
Do a swap with them? Why don't you do a straight swap?
Yeah, that sounds like all the rage nowadays, doesn't it? Just do a swap. I remember West Ham done that with Kirbishley and Pardew, and that did not go down well. I think that West Ham are going to lose. I don't think we've scored a goal against Nottingham Forest since they've been in the Premier League at the City Ground. So I don't see anything changing anytime soon, regardless of the signings.
Do you reckon they won't play anyway? They won't be registered, would they?
No, they will be registered. I think if they register tomorrow, because West Ham's game I think is on Sunday, so they'll have enough time. But I say the players will be there. They've had pre-seasons. They've been playing it, and whether they go straight in the squad like what he done with Herbatson, then it will be interesting. But I can't see any changes, if I'm completely honest. I always kind of write off the first 3 game weeks anyway as a West Ham fan, because the transfer window eats up a portion of that season. Almost like 10% of the season is almost gone because we're waiting for transfers and that to finish. Personally, I think transfer window should end before the season starts.
Yeah, I agree.
And then that's your team, and everyone's in the same boat. But yeah, I think West Ham going to lose. I think West Ham will lose. I'll have a bit of positivity in this. I'll say we'll lose 3-1. We'll actually score a goal at the City Ground. That'll be interesting. Paquetá.
West Ham.
Paquetá. But I can imagine Chris Wood getting a brace.
Really?
Likes to score against us, yeah.
Do you reckon that will be Paquetá's see you later and he'll leave on Monday night?
Well, the transfer window ends at 7:00. So that's incomings though. So I need to check what the outgoings are. If the Brazilian window continues, then he might go there. If the Turkish window's
one's
there,
10 days later.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I know that because of Edison. They were talking about Edison this morning, potentially going to Galatasaray, and then trying to get the Paris Saint-Germain goalkeeper in. To cover him if he does go.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What's your predictions, West Ham Forest?
I do think you're going to lose, and I don't want to be too harsh, but I reckon it could be 4-0, and Potter gets the sack, or it'd be a 2-0 loss. So I reckon it could be like 4-0, and it's like an absolute drumming. But then the thing is hard because once you get a goal go against you, your team just folds. They got like no fight at all, have they? And it all depends on who's in goal as well. Well, yeah. It doesn't really matter. But have you got this new bloke in, or are you going to have?
Madsen's the number 1 now. He's the number 1 for years to come, and he's got to grow into that position. He's going to make mistakes, but I don't think the defence in front of him help him. I have faith in Herbatson. I think it's too early to write the geezer off. I know he's already like Ariola's going to go out on loan and we're after another goalkeeper, but I think Madsen's going to be the number one. We've hired goalkeeping coaches that like him.
I don't think. The thing is, he's a young bloke. He's coming into the team, and it's a team that's not performing. You want to try as a goalkeeper. I've had it in my career where if you come into a settled defence, right, it settles you, and then you can sort of just do your normal game. But when you come into an unsettled defence, you almost feel like you need to take more responsibility. So you come for things that you might necessarily not come for.
Yeah.
In a normal position because you think, well, I've got to come for this because I've got to take the pressure off, or I want to deal with it because I don't want to deal with the aftermath because the players are not dealing with it. It's goalkeeping. It's a tough one. If the team's not doing well and you come in, it's a position where you want to take responsibility, but then that's also that can also be negative as well. Do you know what I mean? But depending on what's happening, and unfortunately, I think that's what's happening with him at the moment. He's unsettled, so the team's unsettled, so he's unsettled. He's then wanting to take responsibility and then get him found out, basically. Which is unfair because he's probably in a settled, a bit like Anana as well, I suppose. I don't know. Maybe
he's been linked for most West Ham on loan.
He's had a year there, and but then is he any better than what you've got?
No.
No, what's the point?
No.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, that's going off topic. Yeah, so unfortunately, I think it'd be 2-0 or a 4-0 strumming, and then it will be a Potters. Well, to be fair, I don't think he will get sacked because I think it's too early, and I think who the hell are you getting in? And he's just signed these players or potentially signed these players. So I reckon game week 6, 7. That's when you've got to start. Well, I still think that's too early personally, but I think that's when the nail will hit the coffin, as they say.
I think the earliest sacking in Premier League history was Frank de Boer at Crystal Palace after game week 4. So,
no, I can't see it happening.
Yeah, so we might be beating that if West Ham lose. There'll be 4 losses in a row then, in all competitions. But yeah, that's that. So who's Arsenal got at the weekend?
Liverpool.
Oh, actually a game worth watching.
I think it's 4 kickoff as well Sunday.
How was it?
Yeah, I think it's 4 games on Sunday. You got one at 12, one at 12, one at 2, 4, 4, and then 8. Huh?
Yeah,
or whatever the time is. Yeah, but 4 games. Yeah, but Arsenal. I think. Well, I think we're going up there to win. The draw's not good enough. There's no point going up to Liverpool looking to draw. Not with the team that we've got. I think Arsenal will go up there and try and do a low block. But I do think we are going to win. Going there to win. Arteta's not going to go there to nick a point or, but I do think we will. It will be like a stalemate. It'll be a chess match. Like I said, with Arsenal doing a low block, and then trying to beat them on the break, and I think that will actually suit Gyökeres running into them down the wings, running into them channels, and then hopefully bringing other players in. They're saying that Eze's not going to start, that they reckon Odegaard's going to be back, but I do think Eze coming on late could be exciting, or coming in later could be exciting. In my heart, I'm saying that we will win 2-0 away from home. In my head, I reckon we'll win 1-0.
1-0.
Yeah. 1-0, and okay. I think it's gonna be. I think last year we didn't get luck in certain games. I think we're going to get a lot of luck. I think there's going to be like things going to be cleared off the line, and I think Arsenal are going to get their little bit of joy and a bit of luck tomorrow. On Sunday.
Okay. Interesting. I think Arsenal win 3-2.
Oh, I'd take that.
Yeah, of course you would. I think you'll win 3-2. We ran a poll earlier. Should the West Ham owners resign from the club? BS at 83%, BS in 16%. BS in clearly Spurs and Arsenal fans, but I think Arsenal will win 3-2. I think it'll be like a last minute winner from. Trying to think, I would say something like Gabriel, like a set piece or something like that.
I'd take it. I'd love to see that. But I think this season, I think you can't drop points full stop. And then we've got the bloody international break, haven't we?
Yeah.
Oh, I hate it. It's so rubbish. I actually hate it. Such a waste of time.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's a World Cup that needs to be qualified, that people need to qualify for, so it will be interesting because, as I say, this time next year we'll find out who's the world champions in football. Proper world champions, not this club shit.
Yeah, let's just see what happens, eh? I think what we should do if when the World Cup comes about, we should do a pod in a different pub, and what pub's got the best atmosphere for an England game. Yeah. Any suggestions of good pubs for England games? Yeah. Send them in, and we will go and see if we'll prop up there and see which one's got the best atmosphere.
I thought Whispers had a pretty good atmosphere for the Euros when we done the pub crawl thing.
Yeah, well, it was quite good, wasn't it, actually?
Yeah,
because we were the only atmosphere in there. It was us bloody misbehaving, and then it went home rough.
Well, Rob almost got run over, didn't he?
Oh, God, yeah.
And then stepped out in the garden.
Oh, mate. Trademark Rob.
That's it. Right, mate. Let's call it a night.
Cool,
and,
mate.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. Yeah, cheers.
All right, best, mate.
What, West Ham wise or cold wise?
Both.
No, thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week at 8:30. See you later.
Oh yes, the dead's still at the club. The dead's still at the club. The dead's still at the club. At the club. Oh yes, the dead's still at the club. The dead's still at the club. The dead's still at the club. At the club. Oh yes, the dead's still at the club. Still at the club. The dead's still at the club. The dead's still at the club. At the club. Oh yes, the dead's still at the club. Still at the club. The dead's still at the club. The dead's still at the club.
Hey Goldie, what's on today's to-do list?
Why, it's match day, Dave. Are you hoping for a full house tonight?
Not too fast. As long as we sell all the tickets. I don't care if you come down here.
Make more money from the tourists here, so I don't care if you come down here.
Nathan Bellavic's got a boy for the night. His ex-missus said you better try to get it right. He buys a kid a ticket and a burger and a Sprite. Got a train home, 200 if you like.
Cause I don't care if you come down here. Cause you make more money for the tourists here, so I don't give a monkeys if you come down here.
Stop from when the funky took a bully in the water. Never lost a rumble, but it can't get sore. Climbs more stairs than he did before. What's his old seat, then he's got to pay more.
Cause I don't care if you come down here. Cause you make more money for the tourists here, so I don't give a monkeys if you come down here.
Because the Kevy only goes to football with his wife. He did it as a kid and he's done it all his life, but he don't get a win a few allowance anymore. We're gonna send his ticket to a bloke for Singapore.
I don't care, I don't care, I don't care if you come down here, cause I make more money for the tourists here, but we don't give a monkeys if you're here next year. I don't care, I don't care, I don't care if you come down here, cause I make more money for the tourists here, and I don't care if you come.
3 foot high and a liar. You dragged our club through the mire. Please take your horse and fuck off out of the door. Sully your poison and we just won't take any more.